Aside the fact that I was a virgin, so it was easier for me not to understand that part of me. Yeah, like now that we are married, I understand that he actually has more self-control than I do. I can say if he's here, I don't mind though, but he's like, no, we must get to, that kind of thing. Now I understand why it was easier for him to allow me to be a virgin. I think he just zoned his mind. That was why even 1 week after our wedding, I was still a virgin. Because it was hard having to understand that, okay, you now have a right to this place. You do it now. What? I avoided staying over at any guy's house. In fact, the first guy I stayed over in his house was my husband. And that was shortly before we got married. And it was in law school in 2015 that I met my husband. It wasn't difficult keeping myself with it. It wasn't difficult at all. Like, we dated for 6 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we met in 2015.
I guys have been dating.
Yeah, and we got married in 2022. So
what do you guys do when you're dating? So tell me a good date. I was actually in God's sanctuary, and I said, God, if you do this thing for me, I'm going to keep myself till I get married. That was where I made this, covenant with God there. And that was what motivated me.
Someone got across to me and was like, sent me a DM. It's not everything you post. You shouldn't be telling people about the fact that you married as a virgin. There are also many people that have married as a virgin and they didn't say it on air. They didn't come on.
You know what I told her?
Exactly. I know what I told her.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? It's another episode of Short at Silence, and today I'm super excited. Today we're having 2 hosts and 2 guests. So I'm not just appearing as your host today. I'm also coming on as a guest, and likewise my guest. This is because we share the same experience. We've experienced something similar, and we're here to bear it all out. So are you ready? Of course, my name is Linda, and today I have Vera.
Oh yes, so Vera Ben here with you.
Okay, nice to meet you. I was telling her off camera that this is actually the first time I'm speaking with her. Like, live, one-on-one. Yes, no, because I remember seeing you in senior secondary school. You're speaking with your friends. I was like, did she just change school to this school?
Seriously?
And she told me that she's already JS1, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm actually very surprised to hear that we really didn't interact that much in school. Yeah, I was thinking we might have crossed paths regularly, but
so the thing is, I didn't really speak with you then. We entered social media era, and then I became your friend. I don't even know who sent requests, but somehow we are friends on Facebook. And then fast forward to 2022, you got married, and then your husband, out of excitement, wrote this thing on March 26, 2022. So he wrote, I remember the day we took the picture on the left. In November 28, 2016, a day to our call to bar, we were both goofing around, not knowing how this story was going to end. Fast forward to 2022, you know the rest. We know they're married. And it's exactly 1 month today. So 1 month later, he's already excited. Okay, we're getting there. It's only 1 month today since we both decided to go down this path. I'm glad we took the decision. She patiently waited for me despite all the odds, trial, mockery, pressures, and temptations. You're going to throw more light on all this. Are they verbs? All these verbs. You're going to... Most importantly, she kept herself, her virginity intact all her life. In fact, even 1 week after our white wedding.
Honestly.
So yeah, it's just 1 month officially. The man is celebrating 1 month officially doing the do. A step in the journey.
I'm shy. Oh my God. I'm shy.
A step in the journey of 1,000 miles. We are going to celebrate more weeks together.
Definitely. And we are actually celebrating more and more and more.
So that is what we shared together. We actually kept our virginity till marriage. And so, I wouldn't have known this. And fast forward, this is 2024. The information I saw 2022.
So you just
I did screenshot. It was because you were coming to this show. I went back.
Like it just came back to your mind. Oh, I remember saying something like this, so I should just go and check.
Yes, I remember
Because I was
seeing some.
surprised when I got
I
a
saw
message
the
from you.
I saw this message in 2022.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because he tagged you because he was not my friend. He
Power
said
of social media.
Uncle Bright is with Vera Ben. So because he tagged you, I got to know because I'm your friend. So fast forward to 2024, I'm doing
Yeah.
this show, Shadow Silence,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, let me call her. And I went back, and luckily, he hadn't deleted the post, and the post is still there. And I quickly screenshot it before I lose it. Before I lose it. So let's talk about this. Keeping ourselves till married, till marriage, right? What motivated you? What was that? Because your husband said trials, temptation, mockery, pressures. The list go. Kilode, tell me what motivated you first.
Okay, I think it really all days back to my younger days when I was still in secondary school. There was this particular incident that happened when I went to the village. So I don't know if it was a cousin of mine or just one relative like that. So there was this girl that was passing by, and they all went like, we've had her, we've tested her, it's like they were taking a census of girls that they have slept with. And I felt so embarrassed. Like I couldn't imagine such a thing being associated with me. So I just looked at them and I was like, why are you guys doing this? I was very young, so I couldn't really like attack them or confront them. So they laughed it off and sent me off. And I went back and I thought about it. I said, no, no man would have this advantage of me. Like, no man would have this privilege of saying, I have heard her if you're not my husband. So I made that commitment and then I asked God to help me. And fast forward, I've had experiences, I've had people come my way. Like, there was someone who he said he wanted to marry me, right? And I think I was in university then. I think it was in my third year. Yeah. And I, unfortunately, okay, this is an emotional part for me because I made this commitment with a cousin of mine that we were seen as twins, right? So we promised to keep ourselves till marriage and have this, this young idea of twin wedding. We weren't actually real twins. We were more like twins. So we just had everything all figured out. I was so happy. I gained admission, went to UNN, and she was back home in, I think, Imopoli or so. And then she met someone and she joined a clique of friends that weren't compatible with the kind of lifestyle we had agreed to live. And then she got pregnant along the line, and I wasn't aware. She tried to remove it and she died. So he really, like, she actually felt the guy was in love with her. And I tried to dissuade her because I didn't want to have a relationship till I'm out from university. So, but she felt, oh, maybe I'm being too serious. And then she left me. And then this happened. She died. So it was really so emotional for me when this guy came along shortly after that death. So, and he said he wanted to marry me, but before he proceeds with any marital rights, that he would want me to promise him that, okay, he was in Lagos then, I was back in Enugu where I was schooling, and he made me promise to sleep with him before he would, proceed with any marital rights. And he pressurized me. Like, he basically used everything against me. He was like, oh, okay, look at, and I was even telling him, I just lost my twin sister. So why are you like giving me this kind of pressure? You're supposed to be more sympathetic. And he said, well, no, I should forget about all of that, someone that has died. And for me, I'm being too churchy, that they all go to church. He goes to morning mass now. That's why I hate religious people. I tell people being spiritual is quite different from being religious. A lot of people just do things ceremonially just because people do them, not because they are obeying or following the mandates of God. That's where I actually draw a line. So he told me he goes to church every day. He attends morning masses. He's this, he's that. So that it doesn't stop him from enjoying his life. That in quote. And he really, really put that pressure on me. And I was still young. And for the first time in my life, I told him, okay, I'll think about it. Right? I have never told any guy I'll think about it. So pressure was quite much. He kept on calling me was calling me every 30 minutes for me to agree that by the time he comes back home during the Christmas holiday, we were actually going to have the thing. So
Well, did you tell him you were a virgin at this time?
he knew.
Does he know?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So actually, a lot of guys felt maybe because of the way I was behaving that way. A lot of guys actually attributed that to me, even without me saying it. I was always so reluctant to say it because I was afraid of being raped and all of that. So I kind of tried to keep it to myself.
Yourself.
Yeah. So, but when they see the way I behave, this one see they do like virgins. You know all those things. So,
I don't know how do they know?
Yeah, they just feel this one church girl, this, that, they always reading your book, this, that. So they felt there were some attributes that kind of made them sense that I might be a virgin. So, but he knew because we were talking and I told him. So I actually answered that question. I actually told him, yeah, okay, I'll consider it. And it was one of the worst mistakes of my life because that night I think I was sleeping or something, and then I slept. I had like a trance, and God was calling me. He was angry with me. He was trying to call me back. He was like, I was moving in a crowd, like there was this very huge crowd, and I was just floating along. Somebody was calling me. I was distracted. I couldn't hear what they were saying. And then that voice was coming from heaven and was calling my name. Because I should look back. I shouldn't go that route. I shouldn't go. And I just woke up and I was crying. I was wondering what's going on. I think it was a Saturday night stroke, Sunday morning. And then I went to church. And all the preaching that they were all about me. Like, it was like they could feel my nakedness, even though I haven't done anything, but like I was about to do something, take a decision that would be very detrimental to me. And then I was crying. I got home, I called him, I told him never to call my line again, and I blocked him. That was one of my major challenges in this journey. And after that, I wasn't in a relationship. So how was it with you?
So I need to give you a little bit of context before I say what happened to me.
Okay.
So growing up, I'm the first out of my siblings, but at the time, I think I was 4 years when we moved to this house, and I've just had 2 other siblings. So my mom is a serious 9 to 5. So I think even weekends are the only time she has time for herself. So she made us go to this thing called catechism classes.
Okay, you were Catholic?
Yes, I'm still a Catholic.
Okay.
So she made us go to catechism classes. I went to catechism classes from 4 to like 10 before I eventually received my first certificate. So it was like a way for her to have rest. So why not take them to Christ while she can have time for herself? So that's kind of made it clear to me that there's existence of heaven and there's existence of hell, and that heaven is real, hell is real, right? And in catechism, they let us know the different 10 commandments of God. And somehow I associate, even though they said do not commit adultery, as for the fact that I wasn't married, I felt like fornication was a part of the sin in that commandment, okay? So that is one, my background, my mindset as a very young child. So then during that time, I was a voracious reader. Right now, I do not read as much, but when I was young, I could literally read anything in print, okay? So I remember my mom having this hint magazine up in our wardrobe, okay? And I always climbed to that wardrobe to read all her hints magazine. This hints magazine are like not within that time, because I don't think she buys them anymore at the time, but this was the ones she bought as a spinster. So I always read, and if you know hints magazine, is a magazine where women especially come to talk about their woes with men, their life with men. So that gave me the mindset that men are not to be trusted. Okay. This was me as a young child. So fast forward to when I was 15 or 16 years, I had just finished secondary school, and I was asking God for something. Okay. And mind you, I'm a very shy person. Like, one of the things I used to say is, what if I have sex with this man and we're no more dating? You can see my nakedness. Hey! That kind of a thing. doctors will still see your nakedness. But then as
Tell
a
me, I
child,
remember my first experience with doctors. Oh my God. Continue.
so for me as a child, I felt like the world ends with me and my parents. So I was already baiting myself, like, so this man, I will not be walking down the road and he'll now say, I've seen her nakedness before. Like, no, nobody's gonna see it. So all these things were what was in my head as a young child. Now, fast forward to 15 or 16 years of age. So I was asking God for something. And with me, I've always known that if you want to ask God for something very important, you should promise something to Him in return. So, with that in mind, I felt like I didn't have money. I was 110% dependent on my parents. So, what do I have that I can give God for Him to answer these prayers for me? Do you get? So, at that time, I was like, okay, I didn't just make this prayer in my room. I went to Chapel of Adoration in my church. I was actually in God's sanctuary. And I said, God, if you do this thing for me, I'm going to keep myself till I get married. That was where I made this, covenant with God there. And that was what motivated me. And it wasn't, you will be thinking, okay, what actually led your mind to these things? Because of these things I've mentioned, for the fact that I don't even believe men self. So, and for the fact that I know that heaven and hell is real, for you to go to heaven, you should try and live a very decent life. And so who is even give me these checks and balance, okay? And what other reason? For the fact that I actually want this from God. And I felt like if I promise something to God very serious, then He'll be able to answer my prayers. So that was actually what led me to keeping myself, okay? So the next question I'm going to ask you, so you started this journey. You left, I know you talked about one of your experiences. So can you tell me one or two experiences that, aside from this one you just said, how was your experience like dating? Because it's one thing to take this step as a young child when you've not even started having butterflies in your tummy. Do you know then in church, like I literally go to give offering and I'm coming back and I'll say, oh, this guy is sitting beside me. He's sitting behind me. Unprovoked butterflies would just be running in your tummy like, what? I'm not talking about this guy. I just knew, like, your hand, your palms. I don't know about yours, but my palms will be sweaty. And then puberty came in. So you were taking oaths with God at 16, at 16 years, when you've not seen anything. Oh yeah, welcome to adulthood. So tell me, how was your experience with,
All right. Yeah. So actually, after that first experience, I've really been lucky with the kind of people that came my way subsequently. So it was easier, I think, because I have already grown to understand what I want out of life and how I want to go about it. So it was much easier choosing my friends. So I kind of avoided dating in university. I had friends, we could talk and all that, but no intimacy and all of that. So when it was, I don't know, yeah, but I think it was in my final year or so. I met someone, but there was nothing serious. I liked him. Luckily, he was a church guy, so there was nothing serious between us. So I think that just went like that.
you didn't spend night at a guy's place?
No, that was like what I did was I avoided situations that would lead me to having to contemplate breaking my vow, right? So I avoided going to hidden places. I avoided staying over at any guy's house. In fact, the first guy I stayed over in his house was my husband.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And that was shortly before we got married. Yeah. So I never slept over in any guy's house. I never went. In fact, I was so scared that the only thing, in fact, I had a triangular movement in school from class, from my hostel to class, from class to church, to back to the hostel, except maybe when I had to go to the market to shop for things for the weekend and all of that. And then it was in law school in 2015 that I met my husband. And those who know law school know how tedious it really can be. So I was so busy with work, schoolwork, and all of that. But it was a friend of my dad's who was in law school with us. You know, law school can have a lot of age variation, so he was much more advanced. And he told me that, parents, look, I know you want to make a first class. I know you want to make a statement result and all of that. But you need to calm down a bit and enjoy this life small. I mean, and this young guy, I always see it coming around. The way he's always looking at you. This man really, really, really likes you. You need to really give him time to talk to you. I'm like, he's not one of those guys again. And I had a lot of admirers in law school. And he was thinking that I wouldn't have his time. And I actually didn't have time to actually get any of them then. But when the man consciously brought us together, he told me he was going to host our team. Like we had different teams, different study teams. So, and we were in the same study team. So it was very easy for him to invite the entire study team to his house. I mean, this is my dad's friend. Yeah. And when we were going, I was scared of staying over because he said he actually booked places where we wanted to have fun, group fun. And it was time to go. I always run away when it's close to 7, 8. I want to go back to my house and hide. I don't want to have any incidents. So when I was leaving, he called me back, Vera, I should not go. I should stay back. In fact, he made my best friend promise to stay back. So I know that whenever she's around, I feel safer. So I stayed back. And I'm like, I want you to stay with this guy today and talk. Don't run away. Talk with him. Talk with him. I really like this guy for you. I feel like both of you would connect. And I just, he has seen who I am and the kind of man that would fit me. So I should talk with this guy. And that was the first time we stayed together and talked. So, and
you guys have been talking.
Till now. Fire talking. In fact, we did talk. We can talk.
Thank God for that, uncle. I hope you've got to pay your tribute or whatever to him. I hope you've got to thank him.
Honestly, so, and it's been a very fruitful, sweet journey. Having to get someone who understands you, someone who allows you to be yourself while still respecting the sanctity of your marriage. It's beautiful, right? So it wasn't difficult keeping myself with it. It wasn't difficult at all. Like we dated for 6 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we met in 2015.
You guys have been dating?
Yeah, and we got married in 2022. So
what do you guys do when you're dating? So tell me a good date.
We talk. We just we enjoy our company. Like we just talk. We just do you know this one happened? Hey, what happened?
Wait, calm down. Stop from talking. You guys don't have feelings. You guys are boyfriend and girlfriend. The way you guys.
Oh yeah, on that aspect. You see, I always hear that men don't have that kind of self-control, but with him it's different. I think he has more of that. Aside the fact that I was a virgin, so it was easier for me not to understand that part of me. Yeah, like now that we are married, I understand that he actually has more self-control than I do. Do you get I can say if he's here, I don't mind though, but no, we must get to that kind of thing. Yeah. So he has that kind. I understand why it was easier for him to allow me be a virgin. I think he just zoned his mind. That was why even 1 week after our wedding, I was still a virgin, because it was hard having to understand that, okay, you now have a right to this place. You do it now. What is going on?
Was it him that said he doesn't want to do?
No.
It was him.
I was scared. I was very scared of penetration.
I cannot wait. No. I can't wait because
I had grown so afraid of the thing that having to be in that mood was.
So wait, you guys were dating. You didn't prep your mind. Now, me and my husband, we are traditionally married, but we've not done the white. And to me, marriage to me is white wedding. And he understood that even before we started this journey. Okay. So, and he's still waiting for me till that time. For me, I cannot wait to do. What are you saying? What are you saying? I've been waiting. Since how many years ago?
I just want you to remain like this.
Like am I even be doing when people are waiting for me in reception? They should just wait though. If they tired, let them eat and go home.
I think for me,
are you kidding me?
I think for me, I became so I had totally removed my mind from the whole thing that I had become scared of penetration. Right?
No, that's not fair.
So, and him, his own kind of person, his self-control is too much. Like, it was one that I cannot hold this thing again. Let's try.
Don't worry, we'll talk about the first try in our next episode. Let's leave it there. Let's not go there. Don't give all the tea here. Let's be even. Then we'll come back. We'll talk about the first time.
All right. So, okay. But yeah, we're actually not like we had a lot of feelings, right? We had a lot of feelings, but we made conscious efforts, I had to watch how I go to his house, right? And then like it was easier for us to meet outside than just stay over, having to maybe stay in his house for a long time, and all of that. So it was easier to avoid that situation of sin for me with him. Yeah, it was much
You're
easier.
fleeing. You're just basically on your mark. Get go.
Yeah, and I'm a very touchy person, right? I like to, I like you understand. So, but him, he's not like on that romantic part like I am. So it's easier for me to like maybe just have body contact and then he will just hold me. You understand? And then we wouldn't have to do anything. We can just hold ourselves.
Yeah, I
and
think
then
I can relate because I got to the point where hugging is
you just
enough
hug,
for me.
exactly. So just hug and then you are satisfied. You can just feel
Squeeze.
Yes, you can just feel the intimacy, and that's just it.
But for me, I did not flee. I was walking under the shadow of death.
And you were not afraid of any evil.
I wasn't thinking of it. That thing is just down there. I'm not even thinking. Do you get? It's not. I don't think. It's not in my head. Oh, you're a virgin. Oh, you're going anywhere. No, I don't even think. I live my life just as any young girl would live. I don't know if any young girl, but me, my personality, I'm very adventurous, and I expose myself to a lot of dangers. And what do I mean? So
dangerous like that.
I'm going to tell you. Okay. So this was me, like fresh out of university. I attended school very early. So at 20, I was already out of school serving and stuff like that. So so in university, I made a promise to myself that I do not want to have a relationship in school simply because I don't know if I can handle emotion with study. I'm very extreme, intense at anything I choose to do. So because of that, I didn't really quite have any. I tried. I won't lie. There was this guy that we were talking during the long vacation, and then by the time we came back to school the next semester, he's already with another girl. I was like, everything happened. I thought we have something together, But
one of those moments.
So like I thought we were talking seriously. You were talking with me, and you're still talking with this person, and you now have to choose. Well, I won't blame him at that point. What do I even know? So basically, during university, I didn't date, but after university, I opened myself to dating. I started trying to date. I started dating in fact, and I never told any guy that I'm a virgin. Do you know why? Because I mean, a lot of Nollywood movies, I felt like I was going to be used for voodoo, all those things. And I'm like, I'm not ready to be money for anybody. So I was so scared to tell people, the guys I dated. So I always tell them I've given my life to Christ. I'm a celibate. So I always lie to them. I don't know, I'm trying to make heaven, I'm still lying, but anywho. So I always lie to them that, okay, I'm a celibate. Someone ask you, okay, when was the last time? Just okay, like 4 years ago, like 3 years ago. So I always telling them, they always have that idea that, okay, I'm a celibate, I'm not a virgin. And with them, I have boundaries. You can't touch me here, you can't touch me there, you can't kiss my neck. Most of them, I kiss their mouth, to be honest. So yeah, so with that, I had this relationship and I had this relationship. First of all, when I entered, when I was 7.
Okay, so sorry. How do you control yourself when you kiss on the mouth? Wouldn't you want to do more? Like, wouldn't you want to, have a little more? Like, you're already.
I'm not doing more. Kissing in the mouth doesn't. What's the word? It doesn't. What was the word? I don't know. What's the word? It doesn't make me horny or anything.
Okay.
It doesn't move me. I don't get aroused from kissing. Probably they are not doing it well. Do you get?
Yeah, because I mean, my time I've done that.
Maybe they are not doing it well. Maybe they are not doing it well. Okay, and to be fair, I have a lot of things I want to explain because my man will tell me that we've not started. This is nothing. He makes it look like there is more to it, and I don't worry, we'll get to that episode. We'll talk about it. In fact, you'll give me like 6 months. Let me see very well before we come back.
Hey, I am sorry for this brother. Hey.
But
He doesn't know what is waiting for him.
He doesn't know. Like who?
Oh boy. Fresh out.
Fresh graduate. You know when graduates finish.
I know
Fresh
that
graduate.
initial.
Fresh graduate. Okay, so yeah, so my first experience with dating hit me when I started serving. So I served in Kaduna. And so they posted me to a village, and I wanted the town. You know when you post it to a village, one core member from your platoon will tell you, oh, come on, there's a school around there looking for core members. Come and see if you get a request letter from the principal or proprietor or proprietress. So I came. I thought this was my friend. I didn't know this young man was having ulterior motive for me. So I now came, innocent girl, very naive of me. If you know Kaduna, you will know the landmass is very vast.
Crazy.
You spend the whole day. So there's no way I was going to come to town and go back to the village I came
had
from.
planned you.
And then I'm even supposed to see the principal. I'm supposed to spend a night. Do you get? So I went. So he cooked noodles for me. So I ate, thinking, oh, my friend has cooked noodles. The night came. Oga called me, cham. Come and do your work. I said, what do you mean? He said, he gave me options though. Options. Either I do this or I do this or I do this, I do this. Choose one. I said, are you okay? Are you mad? Before so, I went with bruises. Like my mouth was
Don't mean it.
It was the neighbors. It was the neighbors that came and separated us. And then one core member from batch B now left his house and asked me to go there while he goes to stay. So I don't know where he went to. And that was how I survived this beast. Do you get? And then he was so mad that there was this core member then, Dr. Honor. He now gave me some money to go back to my village. Go back to your village and serve where you've been posted. Don't be silly. Do you get? But funny enough, I'm very adventurous. You would think that would make me not to go to any core member again. I went to extra too.
I thought that was very risky.
I am very adventurous. I'm very. I want to see. And when people say, oh, I will take me back to my younger years, I don't want to go back to my younger years. It was so risky. And now I have sense. I don't want to go back.
I'm actually very adventurous, but I mean, I have my limits when it comes to my body. I am so scared.
No, I think as a young child, then I wasn't even thinking. And now I get then people tell me you're a small child, you don't understand. I'll be like, why are you insulting me? Why are you shaming me? But now I know that there is some sense of maturity that comes with growing older. When I was young, can you imagine one of the things I wanted to tick off in my box was night travel. Night travel was one of
You're joking.
I'm telling you. So during my convocation, I schooled in Enugu. So during my convocation,
which school in Enugu?
Godfrey University. So I schooled in Enugu. So during my convocation, I took permission from my principal quite all right. But I booked a night journey. So I asked the community members, if I want to go night journey, how do I go from here? They told me, I went to my market. So I bought jean trousers for the first time. Khaki was my first trouser. So I went and bought jean because I'm like, it's going to be a dogged journey. And I wore my crescent vest. And I left my quarters, my lodge, around 7. Only me. I wasn't even up to 21. Only me. I met other people that were also in this night journey with me, and I started off my night journey. Imagine anything happened on the road. So when I said I wasn't fleeing, I was putting myself in a dangerous position. And you think that was the only night journey I had? I had another night journey, still during my NYC era, from north to east. So when I say I wasn't fleeing, I was not fleeing. I'm very adventurous. I want to see what's happening next. I want to see. That thing that if you say I should not touch it, so why did you tell me not to touch it? So give me concrete reason why I should not touch it. If not, I'm touching it. I'm taking it. So that is me. Remember what I told you when we started? Please don't say it on air. When I told you we did this, remember what I said? That isn't in me. You can imagine how I was in my younger years. So yeah, that's me for you. So you better not come that way. Remember when I started answering Linda, when I started promoting Linda as my name, was when people started telling me that Linda means serpent. I'm like, really? It's serpent, right? Okay, wait. If you don't call that serpent, if you don't call that serpent, don't bother calling me. So most people don't even know my middle name because I'm like, what's your name? Linda. What's your name? Linda. If you don't want to call that Linda, then you will cause, I won't answer you because a lot of people are even going to turn when you see people like that. So that's just me. I'm very adventurous. I want to know what's happening. I want to know why it's happening. And so to me, it wasn't of me fleeing. And it wasn't as if I was intentionally doing it. It's just who I am. Okay? And now I can't even do half of the things I did. Because now I have more common sense than I have.
You're more conscious.
Exactly. And I think about things now before I do it. So yeah. So to me, I was just going everywhere. I wasn't even fleeing. And I wasn't telling the truth even. So yeah. I think I started telling people the truth when my now man, okay, he saw me in my 3 previous relationships, like before I met him. So we were close friends. And so, you know, when you have a close friend, when you're dating a guy, I don't know if you did it, but you want to get from a man's perspective because what this guy is saying doesn't make sense. But you want to ask a fellow man, maybe you'll relate to this man. What is he saying? You'll now tell me, okay, that's when he now told me that, can you start? Okay, I now told him, I remember telling him about, okay, he's the first person I ever told. This was even him.
Was it like a best friend kind of situation?
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was a best friend kind of situation. And I remember telling him that during your wedding, I must be part of your groomsmen. I'm a woman, but I must be your groomsmen. You know that we were that close. Like, I must be your groomsmen. No, you have to put me in that place. If not, like I was telling him, without knowing that I'm going to be the bride, instead of being part of the groomsmen. So yeah, we were that close. So I remember telling him because at a point, like, I'm like, what's going on? To be frank, I was like, what's going on? Why am I not getting people stuff? I'm like, oh, maybe I need to start confiding in someone. So he's my friend. He used to be my friend, so we are still friends. You know, I started confiding in him. I told him, that was when he now advised me, can you start being truthful to these guys? Tell them your state so they can empathize and not just think you're being a feminist. You know? And I'm like, I'm not even a feminist. What do you mean? He said, but that is how that's what you're projecting. You're projecting feminism. Tell them how it is so that they can empathize with you and know your situation. And that was actually the first time I told somebody I'm dating. I remember telling him our first conversation, and I came back and told him that I told that guy that I'm a virgin. It's too early. You should have told him. You told me to tell him. You didn't tell me the time to tell him. He said, no. You should have told him when you guys are like maybe in a short time into the relationship, not just the first time you guys are having a conversation. You're like, how did you?
He ran for his life, right?
He didn't run for his life because the relationship was an online relationship.
Okay.
I didn't get to see him, and I haven't still seen him, and I don't think I want to. You get? But I was safe to tell an online person because for me to go there, I need to have a visa, and I don't have a visa. I don't think he can come back because for him to go back, he still needs a visa. So I felt safe with the distance, and that was why I was even able to tell him on the first day that, okay, this is what I am. So I don't think if the distance wasn't there, I don't think I would have felt safe to tell him because Nollywood movies still is rent-free in my head. Talk to me about your waiting era when you were waiting because I waited.
For how long?
Calm down. How long?
Let me know if it's up to mine because
Don't worry. So don't worry. I don't want to give you age range. Don't worry.
No, I'm not talking about the age.
Okay, when I waited. No. See, I was waiting all my life.
Okay.
For a man. I wasn't waiting with a man.
Okay.
You get yours is different. You waited with a man.
Okay.
But I'm still waiting. But I don't know. We are mixing it up. But the thing is, so talk to me about your waiting era. How was it like for you? Relatives come, oh, when are you gonna get married? All of that. Talk to me about asking when you're gonna get married and you're waiting for Mr. Right.
Oh yes. Honestly, that waiting era, it wasn't easy. Like it's actually not easy for a lot of people. But for me, I think my case was really very different because I'm not someone that is easily pressured. I just love to be happy and enjoy my life. I don't bow to pressure. But then some of my friends were getting married. I mean, and the person I wanted wasn't ready. We were just fresh out from school, law school. We still had to go for service. I know it was that uncertainty of, is it going to leave me? Is there going to be a time when I'll regret this decision of waiting? It was a very delicate situation for me because my friends were like, Vera, are you sure about this? Are you sure you really want to wait for? In fact, there was a particular incident that somebody got across to because he was serving somewhere else. He was serving in Anambra, was serving in Lagos, and somebody got across to a mutual friend who didn't want to come to me directly. Like, she was talking with my bestie, and she was like, Vera, why not to talk? Why don't you talk to Vera? Is she okay? Like, why is she waiting for a man? Who waits for a man? That guy, I mean, he's young, he's cute, he's fresh out. I mean, he's going to take some time, and why is she waiting for him? She should move on with her life. If she see husband, make she marry you. I don't want to call the cry, follow person cry you. It was a lot of pressure. And then eventually some of my friends started getting married, my bestie, I had two of them, they all got married. And then there was this question of, Vera, what are you waiting for? And we were not even in the same state, right? So I'm like, so one day I just called him. I was like, once we enter January, and there's no sign that we should even be at the same place. Let me even be sure that I can see what you're doing. I'll be sure that we are in tune and we are planning together. Otherwise, forget about me. Just move. Like, it just be like this phase never existed. Well, another thing that helped him was like my parents are different. My mom doesn't pressure. She's not like the usual African mom kind of person. She doesn't come and tell you, okay, what are you waiting for? When I get married, when I bring in a man home, it was that smooth for me. So he eventually came to Lagos and the rest became history. So we just had to rough it out.
Was it what he meant by when he said mockery? The mockery?
Yeah, honestly, like our friends who knew us in school, they were looking forward to how we would break up. Like,
are you serious?
Why? Like, we were looking too good to be true, right?
Are you kidding me?
They look like a pair. Like, they were just so into each other. But I mean, how long can Vera wait? And people were coming. Like, I'm a very fun person. Like, like, Vera, what are you doing? Go.
Men of Tinder and caliber.
Like, so they were just like, Vera, when will this be? Vera, when will this be? So, but I don't regret waiting for him.
Dude, I can see now. See now.
I don't regret waiting for him. Like, just like the best decision of my life.
Yeah.
I've seen people who I would have married, and I've seen what they turned out to be, and I'm like, wow.
Do you see anybody that turned out to be nice? So good?
No.
Why? We're no one's coming to you. What do you mean?
There was this particular one that was actually nice at that time. Yeah, but eventually, like, looking at where he is now in his spiritual life and everything, and the kind of man, I mean, judging from the perspective of the husband I have at home, right, and then who he is, like, he became something else. He seems to be cool, then, but tech hobbies, having a lot of women around, he made money and became something else, right? And someone who wouldn't, in fact, his girlfriend was pregnant when he married her. So I was just imagining a lot of things that would have been mine. Yeah. I don't regret.
So with me, I think waiting, yours is like you have your mind at rest. Me, my mind was not at rest. Like, I don't date people more than 3 months. Mine
was 5-6 years. No, I think 6 like 2015 to 2022. That's how many years?
2015 to
2022.
That's like 7 years or thereabout.
Yeah, 7 years.
So with me, I just, my dating period is always short-lived. I don't know, like, we start dating, everything is rosy, and then everything.
You just lose the sparkle.
No, it's not like I lose the spark per se. It just doesn't work.
Okay.
I think people, when you say, "Oh, I want," because when I talk to when I talk to a guy, during our talking stage, is basically I put my cards on the table. Like, I don't have premarital sex, and they'll be like, "What do you mean?" I say, I don't. So they think when you say premarital sex, you mean penetration. There is no touching. There is no checking. There is no. It's the whole. To me, it's about
It's total package.
exactly purity of mind, body, and soul. And one of my major challenge is even my mind, not even my body, and my mind. Basically, me thinking. So I literally want to bring out my mind from thinking because my mind wander a lot. So with them, they think, okay, what you mean is penetration.
So they can do all the
They
other
can
things.
do, but when they now come, they see boundaries.
Oh.
They see boundaries. They be like, what is going on? They feel I feel like in hindsight, they feel frustrated and they leave. And I mean, and that is one of the advice I'm going to give people when we start talking about advice later. Date your kind.
Exactly.
Don't go and date someone. One of the people I dated once said that to him, if you've not given him a BJ, you have not done anything, you've not started. The journey starts when you do that.
I'm shy.
Excuse you. So and I'm like, I can't even at the time I said, okay, I'm going to level up. I always like challenge. I'm going to level up. I'm going to learn. I'm going to try and start. But then, as we stayed in that relationship, I realized that belief system and ideology matter a lot. Go to somebody who believes and thinks
And
like
shares
you
your-
and shares your same values. Because it will be like, I remember, growing up and taking my kid sister to school. This was me as a teenager, and my kid sister was literally like under 2 years. She's walking. So I would drag her. I could just be taking long strides as she's already running. Okay, because we are not in the same level. And so that was what that relationship would have meant for me. It was me running all through, and he's just taking just small strides. And me, I'm already running to catch up with him. So thank God he broke up. We broke up. Yeah. So basically, waiting for me might not be at rest. It was about seeing time ticking. I remember going back to that chapel of adoration. I said, God, I told you I want to get married. I want to keep myself till I get married. I'm ready to get married. I went back to tell the same place, because it's an adoration. So it's a chapel. So I went there. I said, it's now. So let me get married now. Do you get? And so I that was it. After I went, but I left there. I started. I ventured into a lot of dating apps because I'm like, where are the guys? So that was it. But I really dated. I dated. The waiting time was sometimes So the thing with me, whenever I start doing something, I want to get through with it and go to another thing. So most times this week I'm like, okay, I want to date. The next week I'm working. I'm focused on my work. Then reality hits me again. Maybe my mom will call me, or maybe one of my aunts to remind me and see we are still waiting to drink wine. So okay, it's true. Dates. Yeah. I'll scroll and see who I will chat.
Okay, so what informed your choice of husband?
So my
after
choice
all these experiences
is our value system. I found someone who actually wants to wait because he wants to wait, not because he's doing me a favor.
Exactly.
He wasn't doing me a favor. He wanted to wait because for the fact that we are waiting till now, is because he wants to wait. He believes in waiting. Do you understand? So these other guys, I found out that they were doing me a favor
by waiting for you.
By waiting. And maybe they are thinking that at a point I'm going to change my mind. Do you get? And so with him, we have the same value system. Sometimes he will say something, I'll be like, that's why I love you. This is how I am thinking. How are you thinking like this? This is how I'm thinking right now. We are thinking alike. So you can see that even though we have our differences, it's not like a major part. It's not so much. We just have one or two differences. Obviously, we are human beings. We have different upbringings. We're definitely going to have different, But then where we things we believe are much more than what we don't believe in. So what about you?
For me, yeah, you see that belief system, the value system is very critical, right? So when a lot of people make mistakes in their choice of partners because they focus on things that are not relevant, right? Their yardstick for choosing a partner are radically different from the desired outcome. So because what I see going on these days, people go for money and they want an odogu. Everybody wants an odogu treatment. Want to ask back caliber. Want to ask odogu's wife. You get that's nothing wrong with that, right? But let it not be the basic reason why you go into a relationship or a marriage. Do you have something? Do you share a value system with that person? Can you relate with that person and feel satisfied that yes, this person resonates with me, right? The communication should be there, right? The understanding should be there, and that friendship is very, very primary. Do you enjoy that company? Do you enjoy the person's company? Like for me, my husband, I mean, like we can stay here for 24 hours, right? 1 week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we are not tired of each other. We may not even be doing anything, but we are just enjoying our company. We can gist, like just, hey, what now happened after you left that your office? In fact, even when he's at work, he's very busy, like his work is very busy. And I am also, you know how a lawyer's work can be now. But then if something is happening as he's going, is on his way, he's even driving, he might just use his headset or and then hands-free. Hey, do you know what just happened now? Imagine this madman wanted to hit me. Do you know if I had done this one, do you know what you would have heard? I'm like, okay, don't worry, don't mind him. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, like there's no communication gap. We understand each other. He knows when I want to have my moments. I know when he wants to have his moments, and we respect that. Do you understand? So there's just this. We just connect. You understand? And when I saw him, I was satisfied. When I got to know him, I knew that this was the kind of person I wanted to live for the rest of my life with. I just couldn't see anybody else. Like, is it your money? Yeah, money is good, but I am happy. Like, I am satisfied that I waited for him.
Yeah, because you know sometimes when I see a handsome man, I'm like, to me it's about the value that I get from him than any other thing. Not saying he's not my, Prince Charming, but fact is,
because if I have a spec, you need to marry your spec too. I needed to mention that because for him, he likes my spec. Yeah, and me. I liked fair guys, and his eyes, oh my God, with the pink lips and everything.
Okay.
So he was there. So it was actually my type, and I didn't want a short person because you can see I'm very close to the hair.
Stop it.
Yeah. So, but then I don't have to start imagining myself with someone else. Like if I had married out of sympathy or maybe just because I wanted to get married, right? Then eventually I now meet someone who happens to have the kind of happens to have something, the qualities I admire. Then that's where some of those, there's going to be like a shift. You understand your feelings. You begin to imagine being with that other person. So, but if you marry your spec, there might be changes a little, but that person is your spec, right? You grow with that person. You understand each other and you fancy yourself with that person, not someone else.
Yeah, we're already talking about advice, but I want to specifically go to people who are keeping themselves for marriage or celibate. Like keeping yourself for marriage is not like you're naturally keeping yourself. You might have made a decision to align with God and keeping yourself, in this, senses, both celibacy and virginity. So people who are keeping themselves, they are waiting, they've made the decision to, okay, now, no more fornication till I get married. So from your experience, you can go and I go, you go, but you go first.
Okay. So I'll tell you, is you don't have any reason to regret that decision, right? If you are keeping yourself, I'm sure there must have been something that motivated you to keep yourself for marriage. And you're not keeping it because of a man. I'm sure if you're keeping it because you understand the importance of keeping yourself because of your spiritual journey, I should believe, right? Yeah, and you need to respect that decision. And respecting that decision means that I wouldn't know if you have the strong will to attack such situations and then not fall into the same. But for me, I stayed away and it helped me. I tried to be conscious of the places I go to, the kind of persons I interact with, the kind of people I can call my friends. I chose my friends and I made sure they shared and understood who I was, and so it wouldn't be difficult for me to protect myself in that sense. I wouldn't have any reason to want to protect myself in the first place. Yeah, so know the kind of friends you keep, and always believe and trust in God to lead you to the right persons. If you're waiting for your husband, pray to God for a good person, and also open your eyes, be available. Being available doesn't mean that you should not interact with men. It doesn't mean that you should just have that you have a close space and you shouldn't go for weddings, go for modest parties, go look sharp, look smart, understand. You can say I'm looking smart. Yeah. So try to look smart, be presentable. Don't be looking like you're mourning because you want to keep yourself, you're a virgin. No, still be presentable, and you can attract the kind of person you would want to eventually end up with as a husband. And God will lead you also. Always pray to God for direction. He directed my step, and I don't have any regrets.
Yeah, I believe you. When you say God directs, God will always direct our step. So once you're, dedicated yourself to God, He's always there to show.
Of course.
Both God, both Allah, whatever you believe in, God will always,
Sure. Once you keep your part of the bargain, surely.
And I love what she said about opening yourself. I remember when I started this journey, before I met my husband, I remember going on an evening walk every Sunday. I don't have any business going for an evening walk. I only go because maybe if I'm walking, I'm going to see one sharp man.
You see, at least be available.
Even though I didn't get my man through one.
Yeah, but at least you're
walking in the evening.
You're available to be seen. Don't go and hide yourself inside your room every day. No, at least come up, show up. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I also want to talk about contentment.
Okay.
It's very important. The reason why you are in that position, the reason why some people are in that position where they get to, compromise is because they are not contented with what they have. Once you're contented with what you have, even if it's a little thing, you will be glad you have that thing until you're able to get bigger thing. So I remember I can always, give kudos to my mom. I always give kudos to my mom for my contentment. I remember when we were small, when we were younger, okay, one of our relatives would come with biscuits or bread or something, and my mom would take it and keep it where we would see it. She would say, let's keep it there and see if it's going to turn to someone's finger. I think it's going to turn to lizard. So we'll be passing that bread or that biscuit, cook anything it is, we'll be passing it. So after a week, you think, okay, mommy will come and give us this cookie to eat. My mom will open these cookies in presence of it. Let me eat it in case it's poison. Let it not kill all of us. Let only me be going. I'm like, what is it? I've been looking forward to eating this for a very long. Why are you like this? So then I felt like this woman is just something else. Now I realized what she did. She was building my contentment. If you attended private university, you will see. I remember that time when that shop that has yellow nylons, let's just keep it at that. You know that shop that has yellow nylon that I always give you.
Oh yes, I know exactly.
when they opened it at Polo Park that year, if a girl is coming back with that yellow
especially
nylon,
in Enugu, it was a thing.
That's where I went to. That's what I'm saying.
If you don't have a guy that's taking you to go bring back that yellow nylon.
But I was contented with my black nylon, with my Santana waterproof. My Bako bag was okay for me. Until now, I can afford 10,000 yellow nylons if I want to. Do you get? But then I was contented with my black nylon. So you have to be contented with what you have. And then if a guy I liked it from a guy's car, you've not arrived. I'm not saying you shouldn't be alighting from a guy's car, but some people are alighting for the wrong reason.
Exactly. That's actually the fact. People take a lot of decisions that are detrimental to them because of pressure, right? You don't need to be triggered by what your roommate is using iPhone 15. Okay, let me go and do my own so I can use it. No, now. Do you know someone just died some days ago because they met with the wrong set of people. And now, I'm sure you have even seen a lot of stories recently of people who just encountered the wrong set of people for the wrong reasons, right? So you try and make sure that you're not getting into that relationship for the wrong reason. Don't go because of don't say because of iPhone 15 I want to use it. Then you now go and meet a Yahoo boy.
You're even talking about iPhone 15. Then it was BlackBerry.
Oh yeah.
The bold.
Now I'm even talking about for the Gen Zs now.
Okay,
it's
Gen Z.
iPhone 15 that they are using.
It's
I think
iPhone.
it's 14. It's 15
iPhone.
now. Abi. So then it was our time. It was BlackBerry Bold 6, Bold 7.
I'm telling
But
you.
now it's iPhone. So somebody, I wanted to get someone a gift. And you know what she said? I hope it's iPhone. I said, thank God me, I don't even have money again now. So, why will I even be? You're already dictating what you want. I actually said I want to get you something, and you're telling me you hope it is. I mean, do you understand? So someone like that can easily be pressured by what another person is using, right?
Yeah.
Or what maybe her roommate or colleague at work or something. You understand? So always try to prioritize your the things that matter to you, right? Try to be available at the right time and avoid the wrong places. That's for me.
Yeah, I think another advice I would give is be financially confident.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have money. You don't have to have the biggest money. But that small one you have, be confident with it. Be confident in that your small money you have. Be confident in that your salary. It's just like when you're having physical confidence. Because most people take decisions because they're not even confident in what they have. They want to be able to get something from someone, and that is why they end up in, I was watching King Phoebe. This girl she calls her name, is it just King Phoebe? She's a content creator.
Okay.
So in her video, she said something like, oh, I'm going to buy this. Now, she was saying, now I understand why man would ask you to come and knock him when he buys you food. Because this food is expensive. Imagine if a man carries you to come here, you tell him not to knock you. He must knock you. She was saying her friend, if I carry you to this restaurant and buy you food, I'm going to give you a man that's going to knock you. Do you know that kind of thing?
Yeah.
So yeah, so once you put yourself in that position,
you become vulnerable.
Exactly. The bargaining power moves away from you and moves over to the other person.
Very
so
vulnerable.
in being in your interaction, in your dating phase, try to be financially confident. And in as much as you're financially confident, have support system. That's very important.
Yeah, but you know what I noticed these days, like a lot of young people, they don't like to earn money. Well, not a lot. I've seen, let me not use the wrong statistics, but yeah, they just want to get money from a man. You don't want to work to earn your own money. You don't want to take care of your things or yourself by yourself. You feel it's the responsibility of a man to do that. I mean, by the time you keep giving a man all of that pressure, I mean, there's a possibility that somehow he will start thinking that, oh, maybe you're just available. I think that what you can offer is just your body. I mean, that's the first. But by the time a man sees that you are respectable and you're hardworking and you are independent, well, independent doesn't mean that you should not accept something. I mean, it shouldn't be a yardstick that, okay, he must provide all these things. He must take me to the best restaurant. He must buy me Bone Straight. I mean, what's the reigning one now? Bone Straight is already outdated.
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, you can see what I'm putting on.
Even me, you can see.
I care less about those things until I'm able to afford it. So,
Okay,
so that is it.
So in summary, I'm just saying, try to respect yourself so that you wouldn't be in a situation where a man would be forced to disrespect you. You know, something like that.
Yeah, but I want to hammer on having a support system because I had support system. I'm not going to say, oh, I was financially independent. Yeah. No, I was financially confident and I had support system. Okay. So I can remember when I wanted to buy a new phone. I think this was in 2019. So my salary at the time was 30K. I'm not ashamed of it. I started from a humble beginning. My salary was 30K, and the phone I wanted to buy was 40K, 40,000 naira. My salary was 30,000 naira. So I remember calling an aunt of mine and asked her, please, okay. I remember calling Auntie Augusta. let me give her flowers. So I remember calling Auntie Augusta and I was like, oh, I want to buy a new phone. Please, can you help me with money? She asked me, how much do you have? I said, I have 20,000 naira. I said, how much is the phone? 40,000 naira. She gave me 20,000 naira. So that's a support system. So you mustn't really have...
No, you see what I was trying to talk about was, you can see a young girl now. maybe you are earning 30,000, for example, just like the example you gave, and then she wants a phone of 300,000, and then you want a man, you're looking for a man that will buy it. So you want to start looking for going to all those places that you see the kind of man that can afford to buy that 300k phone for you with that kind of, that's like how many percent of your salary, right? That's a times what. So you also try to be reasonable, and then maybe you're keeping your virginity and you're having. So I think we should actually also hammer on this. Being a virgin or being celibate, it should also be commensurate with your behavioral pattern. You shouldn't be a virgin and then you're being unreasonable in your approach to relationship or life or things or family or anything. So at least try, let there be a balance. You don't be a virgin and you pass and then they'll be like, see that one. Do you get? Do things that glorify God. Glorify God in everything. If you're glorifying God in your body, your actions too, and your behavior should also glorify God. Let there be a balance, right? So we should also look into that.
I think that's also correct. I mean, sometimes people say something else and because they always say you are dressed by how you dress. Exactly. So your behavior should also portray Christ. Because at the end of the day, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve? For me, like I said, it was like, okay, in as much as it was obedience, my vow with God, my covenant with God, I still know that nothing. The Bible says that nothing fails to enter the heaven. That was in Revelation.
So and overall holiness.
Exactly.
Because this modern day, I think virtuousness is not virtue is not respected. If you are being virtuous, you are being stupid. You are what's that word? What's that the word that they use? Maybe you're a Jew person or something. You're not. Yeah, exactly. So you shouldn't let people sway you by the kind of things they say or the kind of pressure they mount on you. If you know you have made this covenant with God, you need to stick to it. Let them see reasons to join you, not the other way around. So you shouldn't be seeing reasons to join them, but they should see a reason to join you, to be on the other side of the divide and embrace Christ and also live a holy and virtuous life. That's what I really feel will make God happy.
And the fact is that people on the other side, the way they blow their trumpets,
you know one thing.
I don't even want to call names.
Someone actually after this post, I didn't really know you saw this, and that's the power of social media. But you know that after that post my husband made talking about, I think that was a month after our wedding, right? Yeah, 26th of March, talking about 2022, talking about how we met and the whole journey and all of that. Someone got across to me and was like, sent me a DM. It's not everything you post. You shouldn't be telling people about your the fact that you married as a virgin. There are also many people that have married as a virgin and they didn't say it on air. They didn't come on. You know what I told? Exactly. I know what I told her. I say, shame on those people. The word, the darkness in the world is being projected. So they say that they feel that it's not possible to have virtuous people, or it's not possible to have holy
we are not. It's not like we are holy. We are people that are practicing making effort.
What's the word? Yeah, making effort to live a chaste life. With the hope of God. So you don't know that. You don't know how that your story might motivate the other person that might be struggling to understand that it is possible to actually live a chaste life with the help of Christ. So if you keep on shielding it from the public, they will, there's a narrative now that it's not possible. They cannot meet a young girl now that is a virgin, that it's not possible for people to marry as virgin. That narrative is out there, and it's dissuading a lot of Christians from venturing into this chaste life. And I encourage people to talk more about chastity, talk more about your journey, let people know that these things are achievable. Let them understand that there are still people who are prepared to keep the vow for Christ. I really think we should emulate more of that. That's for me.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I also think if you are doing this journey, wanting to keep yourself or, chaste, or whether as a celibate or as a virgin, you should get ready to have your heart broken. People are going to break your heart. Men are going to break your heart.
And when that happens, you should understand that they are not for you.
They are not for you.
If they are for you, they will stay. They are not staying for. They themselves will even want to keep themselves also for God. So pray more for God to lead you to that person that would stay and be for you.
Because they will just break up for no reason. And they will not even give you. I remember dating one guy. We were just almost 3 months into the relationship. He stopped picking my calls. He stopped calling me, ghosted me. And up until today, even though I don't care, But then I remember being heartbroken. For the first time, I went to Pastor Kissing the Okonkwo's church. You know that pastor who came?
Oh yeah, the one that talks about relationships.
Yes,
yeah.
I went to his church and said, what am I not doing well? Because I don't understand. I remember going to my girlfriend's house from that Pastor PK's church. From there, I went to my girlfriend's house to stay for like a week or two because you know I used to live alone. You know, I live alone for a very long time. So I remember going there so that I can distress. I'm like, this relationship has stressed me because I thought that this guy, you know, when you're having this thing with a guy and you people are literally talking about the future, how your wedding is going to look like, how your children, how you guys are going to live, making preparations for the future. And all of a sudden, the guy goes to you. It's going to be really heartbroken. So if you are thinking of living your life for Christ, then get ready to be heartbroken by men because they cannot relate. And basically, until you meet the person that can actually relate. And I think you should, your journey is different, but I think my journey helped me to discover myself because some people actually do some certain things because they don't have opportunity. Try and discover yourself because I can say I really discovered myself because I lived alone for like 4 years in this Lagos.
Well, I did actually. So I enjoyed my singlehood like for 5 6 to 7 years.
But
so it wasn't a case of maybe I've not seen men or I was not seeing people.
Yeah.
I had friends, a lot of friends, but then I knew they weren't the kind of people I wanted to end up with.
Yeah, so I think we've literally touched on everything. So if there is anything we need to touch on, we're going to be putting in the comments, okay?
Oh yeah.
And feel free to ask your questions in the comments. We might be coming back again after we've come back again to read about the comments. But I don't know, but definitely we are going to come back to talk about our first time. Okay. You know, being a virgin and then the first time of...
I'm looking forward to that. I
want to hear.
I want to.
They will say, you know, they hold me for mouth. My mouth is not swollen. I'm ready.
You don't have filter
at all. So the thing is there any advice you want to give me? I'm not sure I should be taking advice from you.
Yeah, we did it a whole week. I thought you would jump right into it. Well, yeah.
But when you eventually jump, after you eventually waited for a week for I don't know why. So
yeah, but I think this should be part of the next.
Like, is there any advice you want to give me? Like, should I use a lubricant?
Yes, you need that.
I need a lubricant.
Yes, you do.
But I thought that we were going to give enough.
Yeah, because you're actually going to have a lot of foreplay. Yeah, but it's going to be your first time, you know, the penetration. It will not be the same as someone who is already.
So
it makes it easier, yeah, especially for someone who doesn't have that much of an experience.
Do you know what I asked about lubricants?
Yeah.
I saw somewhere on the internet, someone was saying that, you surely need a lubricant. I'm like, okay, is it really necessary?
Yeah, it's necessary because
so you used one.
Especially for those of us who
did you know you need a lubricant?
No, someone told me, and my sister gave me a book.
Yeah, you upset.
If you know how I hate, the husband has warned me. You're not recording that.
You're going to post it like that.
Not recording. The husband has warned me. Even when I'm driving, if I see mosquito, I'll hit it.
You leave me staring. I
will use one hand. I'll hit it. You see, this girl, it's not embarrass me in public because I hit. Like it's like a bad.
But you don't even know if that is a mosquito. That could just be anything.
Yeah, he just anything flying. I hit it. Even as we were coming, he told me.
Okay, so someone said.
Yeah, someone actually told me that for my first experience, I should have this just in case, right? Because you wouldn't know how well you might. Do you understand? So it's better to be more prepared. Keep it handy if you eventually don't need it. But I think you would eventually need it because it's the first time. And that place is not yet so you understand.
It's not too open. Be open with this words. What do you mean? Okay. It's not too. What is too?
If you have a man like that has a very
big
ring, is massive guy. You need.
Okay. No. Let's keep this thing.
Let's keep this. Because by the time I get into that, and then try to have a lot of
because I want to also
look forward to be look forward to being thrilled. Right, and then understand the positions that work for you. right? So I got to read a lot, and I understood that
Don't worry,
women.
I want to be met with the suddenness.
Okay, sorry.
Don't tell me too much.
Yes, yes,
I want to meet it.
yes, yes.
I know I love adventure.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to come and gist you about my first time in bed. Okay. With that, we come to the end of this episode. And if you sure enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be having a WhatsApp channel in the description in case you want coaching. I'm not sure. Are you available to coach anybody? Maybe like drop some tips. Okay, yeah. She says she's available.
I actually love coaching. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you are someone, but whether you're a male or you're female, and you're in this journey of chastity, this journey of identifying yourself with Jesus Christ, make sure to join our WhatsApp channel. To be in the description place below. The WhatsApp channel name is Shattered Silence. Okay, so when you see it, make sure to join, and we'll be dropping 1 or 2 in there, and we'll see how we'll drive that community going forward. Okay, so Vera, I'm definitely gonna have you back on set when I've done the do, so we can talk about our first time doing the do. See, guys, I'm so excited. You don't know.
I know. I can relate to that feeling.
Can you? I don't know. You didn't know, like, waiting.
I was so excited then when I got to the point I was not scared. Like,
can't be scared. I remember Tara, I was in this women's conference last week. Tara of Tara Beauty. She was like, Madam Tara, okay, respect, ma'am. So she was saying that, okay, she was, she has married her husband for a very long time. She was saying that, she was talking about how she was advising women of how they should be doing the do. She was telling us, do you know how butter is? Do you know how this thing tastes? It's so sweet. I'm like, tell me more, wow. But yeah, if you leave us here, we'll keep chatting and talking. And so make sure to subscribe. I'm going to say it again.
Yes, subscription is very important. That's how you encourage, if you've enjoyed the show. So encourage her with a subscription.
And dropping your comments, dropping your questions. Okay, we'll come together like this and answer your questions. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, yeah. All right. From Vera and I, it's bye-bye.
Hi. Hope you had a nice time. Bye.